Guys, day 23 of the Road to 1 Million in Forex Funding series, a series on documenting everything live here in front of your faces on YouTube. It's going to be an interesting day. It's been quite a slower period. Took one trade, as you would have seen in the last episode. Silver's looking nice today, so I'll break that down for you. If we get entries, it'll look fantastic. Silver, we broke down, nice daily time frame, as you can see. Bearish engulfing at the daily 50. Break down the 4 hour and 1 hour. If we pull back to the 0.382 in the pivot, I'll look for an entry. So guys, the reason why I'm looking for the entry short on silver today, bearish engulfing, as we can see, making lower lows, lower highs on the daily. See, we broke down, sort of consolidated, but we made a new low. Could argue double bottom, but lower high. Looking for the lower low. Overall bearish order flow. Then on the 1 hour, as you can see, we've broken down. Obviously, clearly making higher highs and higher lows. And now we've just broken down, making a new leg to the downside. So we're waiting for the pullback to our key confluence areas, the 0.382, the pivot, which is here, and the 4 hour 50 EMA, which is our entry model. One of the entry models we have. Break and retest of the 1 hour and 4 hour 50. This is also confirmed to the downside. Break down, lower low, lower high, looking for the continuation back down to these lows. So yeah, we've just got to wait and see when or if we get some kind of a push up. And then if we get that, look for some rejection and breakdown, and then I'll look to enter. So keep you guys updated on this position. So guys, the entry would usually be occurring around now upon this breakdown and rejection of the pivot. However, the reason why we haven't entered is because, look, if we're entering around this level, we're getting to the main lows, 1.25 risk reward, and that's just not enough. If we were back up here a bit higher, rejected up here and then broke down, we could still get a 3-1 or 2.5-1. It would be nicer, but although we are rejecting, as we can see, the 1 hour 50, we sort of rejected just below the 0.382. We have rejected the pivot. It's just not a clean entry because the risk reward is massively affected. So yeah, currently we'll be sat out of this position. The only way I would enter is if we then reject here, come back up, and then break down, and I'd get in around here, which would be a lot better price and allow us a lot higher risk reward. So if you feel like you've lost all progress trading, you're very demotivated, maybe you started off hot at the start of the year, very motivated, and then you feel like you've took a couple of losses already, or you've blown an account, or maybe into last year you thought you were going to make more progress than what you did. I certainly did think I was going to make more progress, and I've documented it all on this channel. But this is what I do when I feel like I've had a setback. Number one, the experience you gain throughout that process, no one can take away from you. Everyone's on their own separate journey. It could take someone 1 year, could take someone 2 years, could take someone 8 years. You have to look inward and identify why you are struggling. So for me, for example, I've known the knowledge for years. I've been trading for a while and understanding the concepts for a while, but I've had to look inward and realize my own mental struggles with regards to risk, with regards to, being too risk adverse at times, not executing trades out of fear of losing. And I've had to look inward and think, why am I like that? I know someone else who was trading. He was trading a different market, but he would be a lot more risky. So it was quite funny because years ago we'd be in the same position where he'd take a couple of losses, and what he was doing, I'd be down 2% or a couple of losses with what I was doing. And we would have two completely different mental models. I would be hesitant to take that next trade because I was fearful of losing more, as opposed to him. He was more risk adverse. He was doubling down, tripling down, wanting to get that money back. So that's massively important. But the experience, like I mentioned, that you gain throughout the setbacks is what's going to lead you and push you forward. Journaling all your trades, identifying whether they were good or bad trades. Now, when I say good or bad, a lot of people think a good trade is a winning trade and a bad trade is a losing trade. A good trade is a trade that was part of your plan despite the overall outcome of that singular position. So for example, you could take a losing trade, but because it was exactly part of your textbook criteria and you know that plan has an edge, that trade might lose, but you write it down as a good trade because you know if you take that trade over and over and over again, you're going to be up statistically because you've got data to back that up. As opposed to you could take a winning position and make 3% on that position or 2% on that position. But that could be luck. It could be a trade that was nothing to do with your rules. You executed rogue. You just took a random position because you were maybe emotional. Maybe you had a couple of losses or a couple of winners and you got overconfident. And you took a trade that wasn't part of your plan, but short term you feel good because you're up. I made 2% on that position. I made 3% on that position. I made 1.5% on that position. And the problem is if you keep doing that long term, you're going to continue to have setbacks because yes, short term, you don't see the negative impact because you're up on the account. You made money. But long term, that could play out 20% of the time. So you end up losing the next 80% of positions by executing that plan. So number one, reviewing, that's gonna eliminate and allow you to move forward and identify what went wrong with the setback. Whether it's over risk, whether it's not trading the plan correctly, whether it's missing trades due to fear of missing out, or whether you're getting too greedy and over risking. So it's massively important to identify that. Next is having mental clarity. You have to have your mind under control. This is something I neglected, the psychological aspect of trading, massively at the start. When I first got into trading, I thought, just give me the technicals. Give me just this hidden strategy that everyone's trying to learn. I just want to learn the strategy because once I know the information and I can trade and know the information, I'm going to keep making money. Not true. My mind and everyone's mind is what's going to allow that. And what I've realized in the last 6 to 8 months is momentum. Now, I would have heard all this stuff years ago and not took any notice. I thought, yeah, just like I said, give me a strategy. I just want to make money. But the reality is with momentum, once you've got it, you need to keep it. And I've had times where, you know, when you're in that flow state where you're just flowing, everything's easy, you're waking up on time, everything's not a chore, it's just easy. When that goes, the smallest task can be so difficult. So it's so important once you've got that momentum and you're mentally clear and you're feeling good and you're feeling on point and you know exactly what you need to do each day, whether it's reviewing your trades, whether it's executing the plan, you know exactly what you're looking for when you're approaching the markets in the morning, you know exactly how you're going to be entering, why you're entering. You need to keep that because, like I said, you might know the information, and I've known the information for a while, but there's other elements to trading, which is you have to become the edge alongside the edge of your strategy. And if you're not mentally on point and you're struggling, it's going to massively affect you. So keeping that mental clarity, eliminating bad friends, bad habits, energy vampires and people that drain you. It's a hard business trading. 99%, I think it's 90% of traders lose 90% of their money in 90 days. So it's extremely tough. And you need everything around you that's going to boost you up and push you into the correct direction. You don't want the wind sailing against you and pushing against you. You want to be being pushed along. So it's massively important that you focus on your mental side, because that will single-handedly make you, or it will single-handedly break you. So guys, silver is popping back up to above the pivot. As you can see, we're at a lot better area, a lot better price. So if we can get some rejection from here, I'll look to short. However, we are getting to 20 to 4 in the afternoon. So we are pushing it a bit. So this could happen tomorrow. But we'll wait and see, because we could get an entry late this afternoon. But like I said, it's 20 to 4. So things are going to be starting to slow down. I'm not going to be trading past sort of 5 o'clock. So at that point, if we do get an entry, I can show that in the next video that we upload. So yeah. We do seem to be rejecting slowly, well, decelerating mainly with the doji. But yeah, it would be nice if we get some kind of bearish rejection off this area. Then we'll have to see how the risk reward's looking. So probably going to call an end to this video, guys. Like I said, if we do get an entry on this position, we are starting to sell off a little bit. Don't know if you can see. But if we do get an entry, I'll show you in tomorrow's video or the next, whenever I upload next, whenever there's opportunities. Obviously today there was no trades, but it's just being patient and waiting. But I hope you guys like the little segment in the middle of the video talking about setbacks. I mean, we all go through it. I've had a few people message me on Instagram talking about setbacks and how you deal with them when you've got the momentum and you lose it. So yeah, I hope you guys got value. If you do, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you. Hopefully we have a few good trades this week. Markets are looking fantastic. Slower day today. We just had silver on watch, but they are looking good. So any trades that I get, I'll obviously upload for you, and I'll keep consistent on this channel. I want to grow this channel, and you guys can help me. I'd appreciate it. So yeah, thanks for the support, guys. It doesn't go unnoticed, and I'll see you in the next